So many creative agency owners are stuck in the $1,000 to $5,000 deal range, but you can consistently land $10,000 a month contracts with the same strategy. I guide my clients to close higher value deals. After helping hundreds of agency owners break through the low ticket cycle, I've condensed what actually works and what keeps people stuck into this video. I'll compare the strategies agencies use to go from $1,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 monthly deals, so you can spot what's holding you back and level up. Just like my clients who are now regularly landing large monthly contracts that used to think that they were ultimately out of reach. The first tier that I see people in that is ultimately, hopefully you're not in this place, but if you are, the first tier is the hourly rate. And there's this kind of like give and take component, right? Where now you are in a place where you are competing against everyone else out there, from Market Hire to Upwork to Fiverr to everything, is ultimately where you end up being when you're an hourly rate. Not saying that if you're an enterprise level person that you don't have rate sheets and there's not some aspect of comparables there, but if you're working with smaller businesses, the SMB market, and you're in the hourly range and you're billing in the 100 to 140, 150, even $175 an hour, the reality is that you're in a really kind of difficult place and you're constantly needing to continually sell the hour, as well as being able to validate what that hour actually means. The next range is in that $1,000 to $5,000 place. The reality is when you're working in deals, and so you're consistently needing to sell projects in this $1,000 to $5,000 level, it ends up being this place that you are in this kind of level playing field where you are largely kind of generic and in a lot of instances lacking kind of proof points of how it is going to have impact to the business. The reality of what happens for the vast majority of agencies in this place is that they are just doing exactly what the client asked for. They are not looking at value-based offers. They are not tying the deliverables to ROI. They are not really having any truly guided testimonials, and they don't have any understanding of the impact that the work that they've done helps clients. So if you want any help with value-based offers, I want you to go ahead and take a look at the description. There's a download for my free value-based pricing guide that will help you with how to go about value-based pricing. But the reality is that if you're in this place, this $1,000 to $5,000 range, you are in a very kind of difficult oriented place with your agency because you are competing against everyone else. Now, if you want to get into that $10,000 a month level, the number one issue that I see here that people kind of run into is that they are relying on their network. And then they try to pitch too soon. And I've seen this so many times, and I've got other videos that talk about this kind of idea as well. But what happens is that you don't want to be in a place where you're needing to pitch. You don't want to have to do the hard sell. You don't want to have to be the sleazy used car salesperson. I'm assuming you don't. And if you are, you're ultimately bleeding into the crowd. The problem that we have here is that if you are coming into a conversation where you're trying to explain to the client why you're the best thing since sliced bread, you're not actually building any credibility, you're not building any relationship, you're not giving them any insights, and you're not diagnosing the problem and giving them a solution. I want to flip the script here, is that the way that you should be conducting any one of these calls is the reality is that as you solve one problem, another one arises. I'm sure that you've experienced that in your own business. It's not that just, hey, you solve a problem and it's gone and done and everything is solved forever, right? That's not the reality. And so if you're working with an SMB client, the reality is that you solve one problem and they hit that objective, the next one then comes to fruition. And they're going to need support in being able to reach that next level of height of growth. The reality is that you need to have an understanding of where are they now, what have they tried to accomplish those goals already? And then where are they looking to go over the course of the next couple of years? So that you have an understanding of what it is that you should be doing with them and being able to be sure that you're leaning into that future pacing for them. If you are having a conversation, you're not really truly understanding where they are now, being able to give them insights of, hey, here's what we see happening and working within the market. Here's where we see people getting stuck. Here's the things that we see working right now that you should be considering. And actually this thing that you came to us asking for, this type of social media, this type of content actually doesn't really work right now. And you should be going more in this direction because of X, Y, and Z proof point. And a client that was in a very similar place came to us asking for the exact same thing. We guided them to go in another direction. And here's ultimately where they ended up. The reality is that you are the expert here. They're not. And if you are taking what it is that they are giving you to do, and you're giving them just a proposal and a price and trying to explain to them why they should pick you over the other agencies that they're talking to, you have already lost. You've lost in multiple different points. You've lost in building the credibility. You've lost in getting conceptual buy-in, but you also lost because now you're competing purely based on price, because now you're needing to try to differentiate yourself across the other agencies that are giving exactly what the client asked for, maybe little bits of variation and difference of the process that they're following, but it actually isn't giving them trust and clarity and feeling of comfort. The reality is that every single one of us on the planet is looking out for safety. And financial safety, actual physical safety, doesn't matter. We're looking out there for safety. And if you are not giving them a sense of being safe working with you, that you've already done this, that they're not going to be the guinea pig, that you are very certain of the direction that they should go, it's creating for a challenge. And so what you need to do is change the way that you approach these conversations. You need to have a regimented process that you follow that allows for you to uncover the challenges. And the reality is that the client has the known problem that they're not achieving their goals. They have the unknown problem that you need to help them uncover. And then they have the hidden problem that you need to actually dive deeper in. It's like that idea of an onion that you need to cut multiple layers deep to truly understand. And if you're not doing that with your clients, you're not asking the truly valuable questions, not actually developing and showing them the insights that they need to feel comfortable, you've already lost. It is causing you to be in a race to the bottom. So I don't want you to be there. So let's talk about the three kind of different levels of what you need to be thinking about. So the first is that hourly based model where you're billing between $100 to $200 an hour. The reality is that you're kind of in this place of fear of charging more. You have a disbelief that someone else is going to pay you more. And the true problem is that all you are is broken down into an hour. And so how people are looking at you is in a commodity oriented fashion. If you're in that $1,000 to $5,000 range of an average deal, not saying that every deal needs to be really large. There's some smaller contracts that are added on. But if you're in that $1,000 to $5,000 range, the reality is that you're not having a conversation with your clients, your prospective clients, about what challenges that they're having, what are the considerations that they need to be making, and the direction that they need to be going. There's not enough proof of how you're going to help them accomplish it. And so you haven't actually allowed for them to truly understand the risk profile of where they currently are and how can they mitigate that risk. What they want and what they need to feel in order for you to get to that 10,000 plus range is that they need to feel that I am on this side of a canyon and I need to get to the other side. And the reality is that you as the agency have already built a bridge. You've already done the work. You already have the expertise. You've already done this countless times before with proof points and actual ideally metrics that show this, but building deep trust, earning that trust with them, demonstrating the results, and being able to allow for them to have the comfort of moving forward. The reality is, and I've had this happen so many times, where I've had clients that come in that $1,000 to $5,000, even retainer range, and then end up in that $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month retainers. And the reality is that a lot of it has to do with the way that they approach the conversation. The reality is that for the vast majority of small business, the money or the resources are there. They are just putting it into a different area, and they haven't prioritized it because they don't understand the risk. They don't understand the opportunity. They need to feel comfortable in the direction, understanding that what they want to accomplish is possible. So you've seen how leveling up your offer and shifting to value-based pricing can instantly change how you attract and how much you earn as a creative agency owner. But here's the next big challenge. What do you actually send to those high-value prospects to be able to seal the deal? Most agencies pour hours into trying to develop the perfect proposal that ultimately just get ignored because your client's decision happens long before they open up that proposal or see a single word. In this video, I'll break down what really drives clients' decisions and the psychology behind the yes long before your proposal hits their inbox. If you want to stop letting proposals stall your growth and actually start closing premium clients more consistently, you'll want to take a look at this video.